It's a lovely K98 bayonet. What the? Hi guys, I'm the British WT Man, and today I got another video for you on an update of my stuff that I got. So, first off, I just got some stuff from Soldier of Fortune, and it has arrived. Most of it I'm pretty pissed off about, but some of it is good. So to start off with, like I said in a couple of other videos ago, I've got my K98 bayonet grips. They're made out of metal, not accurate, but no one's really going to know. It's a reenactment. It's just to stand in until I can either make or get some new grips. So, yeah. The really annoying thing about this, which really pisses me off, is that they didn't make these grips properly. So, this one. You can see there's a little ridge there. This bit hasn't been finished. See, there's a bit where it should have been cut out there. The lazy bastard who made this hasn't done their job. And the same here. Which really pissed me off, because I basically paid the same amount I paid for my bayonet for them, and it doesn't fucking work. Okay, it was £5, but still, I paid someone something to give me something that worked, and they didn't. So I'm now going to have to go and modify them, and I'm really pissed off because that's going to be really difficult. So yeah, moving on to the next thing. I did order one of these. Well, I was planning to order one of these, but she accidentally ordered two. So what? The thing that annoyed me about these were that when they arrived. Oh, by the way, these are Luftwaffe glider pilots qualification badges. Is that when they both arrived, this one it had the wing. You can see it how it moves still. That was knocked off. I just got that glued in temporarily so I can get around to soldering it. You take a look at the back here. That was broken off this one, and so I had to glue it on. And I didn't mind having to make a hole in there because I didn't expect there to be a hole there. So I knew that I was going to have to make a hole there and add a pin on both of them. But what pissed me off was that they came broken, and it doesn't say that they're broken. It just said incomplete, I believe. So yeah, pretty pissed off. So next thing I got was these. This is not all related, it's just to kind of I just put them in the package just to store them last night. So yep, this is a Spanish volunteers for the Waffen-SS or the Wehrmacht. It's a shield, Spanish volunteers shield. So that is going to go with my Spanish fascist helmet, which I finally managed to clear of all the bloody paint that I put on there. So I'm going to have to repaint this, hopefully the same colour one. The interesting thing is, I did hear on a discussion on someone else's video that this was, or someone told me rather, that they were rather badly made. And if you take a look at all them cracks in the metal. That's not from me scrubbing, because I don't think my brushes would be that strong. You can just see them all over the entire thing. Anyway, so yep, moving on. So yeah, that's going to go with that. I'm going to make a Spanish volunteers uniform. So yeah, and the last things second last things I got were these. Don't call me a traitor, guys, having these, but anyway. So British Food Corps insignia set. So yeah, 3 lions, collar tab, and the Union Jack shield. I already got the cuff title and shoulder boards, and I just need to finish making the uniform. So, and then I'll be able to sew them on. I'll have a British Free Corps uniform. Okay, from the official records, British Free Corps only dug trenches around the Oder and didn't really participate in any battles as such, but this is kind of one of my alternate history sort of characters, same with my Swedish SS Volunteers uniform for the Viking. So, yep. The collar tab is slightly annoying because it's got a little piece of thread there that is crossing over the arms. It shouldn't be there. And also the arm paws are going up, pointing upwards when they should be pointing downwards, because on an original map of the Volunteers collar tab and shields that I've seen, the paws on the lions are pointing downwards, not upwards. So what? That's just really minor and doesn't really matter. So yeah, and I do wonder whether British Free Corps was actually larger than people say it was, and it's had the documents somehow all classified. So I did hear from on a forum that there was one guy who thought that it was. There's a guy who's with the 13th SS Division, the Hadshar Division, who thought that British Free Corps had over 300 men and was performing massive combat operations, but then there was another unit who was with the Nordland Division, which the British Free Corps were attached to, who said that he'd never heard of them, but that doesn't mean anything that he didn't hear them. They could have been 300 strong, and well, I won't get into the big story of it, but apparently there was 300 volunteers when the SS started off, but people say that apparently the SS rejected something ridiculous like 200 of them or 250 of them. I mean, that just sounds too stupid. I mean, I can't believe that in 1943 to 1944 that the SS would have actually been rejecting volunteers. They just wouldn't have been doing that. It would have just been so stupid for them to reject volunteers. So I'm pretty sure from what the evidence that I've seen, it would have probably been bigger. But it's open to debate really, because there's virtually no surviving stuff of them. So moving on, the last thing that I bought from Soldier of Fortune is this Fallschirmjäger Paratroopers badge, qualification badge. So this is when you've done your drops and qualified as a paratrooper. You get either given this one, which is in the cloth version, which I prefer, or you can get the metal version, which is similar to that version there. I don't prefer that version because for me, when I'm doing Fallschirmjäger, I find that I get my uniform all tangled up, and my webbing especially tangled up in my awards, if I choose to wear any. And then that was what ended up in when I was. This is my Wehrmacht award. Wehrmacht. I know I shouldn't really have this, but I had this on anyway, and it ended up in the this part, the pin snapping off the back, which was a real shame. So yeah, I soldered it back on, but rather handily because it was the first time I tried. So yeah, overall, I was pretty pissed off by some of the things that Soldier of Fortune gave me, but the cloth insignia that they gave me, I think, is reasonably good. The Spanish shield and the British Free Corps shield are very good. I can't really see any problems with them. The Spanish shield, I'd have to say, is the best insignia piece that I purchased, because I think the British Free Corps shield, the blueness is slightly too bright, and the redness is slightly too bright as well on the Union Jack. But apart from that, I mean, they're very small, minor things that only a real anorak would, like me, would really get that upset about. And also, I mean, there were different companies that might have produced them. I'm not going to get into all that. Anyway, so, yeah. Moving on. I've been making fake German money. So, yep, I've started off. I started off with making actually larger amounts. I actually started off with 50 Reichsmarks that I printed, and then I went on to 20 Reichsmarks, and then went off onto some other Reichsmarks. Then I moved down. Actually, ironically, this was one of the last pieces I did, which is 50 Reichspfennig, which is probably equivalent to 50p, something like that. But towards the end of the work, probably came in the equivalent of something ridiculously small. So then I've recently been doing the 1 Reichsmarks, printing off 1 Reichsmark notes today. So yeah, back of the 50 Pfennig piece, and front of the 50 Reichsmark, 1 Reichsmark note, back of the 1 Reichsmark note. I know it's slightly different, but what I did was I went on Google Images and copied and pasted, as you do. And the annoying thing about this was that it was the person who put this on the internet. They had basically done something funny with it, so I had to spend ages like editing the E to get it to not look strange. Can't remember what they did with it. Anyway, so yeah, 5 Reichsmark notes. Now this is a different style of the 5 Reichsmark note. I'll show you the front of this one and the back. I actually have one of these, so I could have actually scanned it, but I didn't want to because I don't want to risk handling my original one. Front and the back. So, yep, and 20 Reichsmark notes. So front and the back. And then I did make another 50 Reichsmark notes, which is here. So yeah, front, back. So yep, and so I printed them off. Well, I copied them into Microsoft Word, and then this is what they come out as. Basically, the way how you do it is you need to make sure that it's so you want to have one here, and you want it to be double-sided without having to glue them together. What you need to do is you need to make it sure that it's say 1 centimeter down from the top, 1 centimeter along from the side. Then go on to another piece of paper and make sure it's 1 centimeter from the top of the new piece of paper and 1 centimeter from the opposite side. I mean, it has to be the opposite side, otherwise it doesn't work, and it has to be exactly correct, otherwise it doesn't work, and you end up in wasting paper trying to retry and do it. So here's the back, and here is the front. So yeah, you cut them out, and voila, you have your Reichsmarks. So yeah, I'm gonna go and start printing these on the proper wartime style paper, which isn't modern, because the modern paper, you can tell any modern document or piece of paper or whatever it is from an original World War II document, because original World War II documents will not be fluorescent, because if you shine a fluorescent light on modern paper, I don't have one with me at the moment, so if you say shine a UVA light on it, it will show up fluorescent like in a disco or something. So yeah, and that will show that it's modern and it's a fake. It's just a bit of help on trying to spot originals from fakes. So yeah, and that is applied to all documents. Don't matter whatever it is. It'll be money, pay books, orders, stuff like that. Will all be made out of paper which hasn't been bleached. So it should look that colour, about that colour. So yeah, and the paper industry, I believe, I think it's the 1970s or 1960s when they started to bleach the paper, and then when they bleached the paper, that meant that I think it lasts longer. So anyway, off that topic, this is just one that I bought, ignore the price, it ain't for sale. So I made sure this was exactly the same size. On Microsoft Word, what I did was I zoomed into 105%, because 105% zoom on Microsoft Word is one-on-one with A4. So yeah, I printed it off on A4, and then I placed this in its protective covering against the computer screen, and then changed the thing on the document until it was the same size. So yeah, this is original. You can tell original banknotes from fakes, because the original ones will have the eagle and swastika, and that will be embossed. So I can't do it, my hand's shaking like a leaf. It doesn't want to hold it straight. But anyway, that will be indented. So yeah, that should be standing out like mine is, and so that shows that that's original. So yeah, I got that when I went to Guernsey, I think it was. So here's my one Reichsmark, original 1920s one. This is also round about the same size as, almost the same size as my one Reichsmark notes. It's just that because this is an earlier one, it's slightly different shape. Not Nazi time, it's 1920 dated there. Oh, and I don't think this one has a date, so I think I checked, yeah, no date. So yep, now moving on to 5 Reichsmark note. Getting Guernsey, £2. I did pretty well for that. So yeah, exactly the same size, one-on-one replica. And finally, almost finally, 20 Reichsmark note, same size. This one is slightly worse quality than this one. I think they're all actually worse quality than this one here and this one here. These reproduction ones that I made. I mean, this one is in such good nick, this original one, because I mean, you can just see how crisp it is. It looks like it's actually never been used. Whereas this one, you can see someone's folded it in the middle. And same with this one here. You can see that the edges are all frayed. So. 50 mark? No. I thought I had a 51 mark note, but I didn't. So yeah, I'm just guessing with the size for this 50 mark note. So yeah, I just got the rest of my collection there of German banknotes. So yeah, this is a 21 and a 5 mark one. 20 mark one. I think both of these actually are. No wait, that one is Imperial German. That one there, I think, is Weimar Republic. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, 23. And then this one here is Weimar Republic one again, 1920 dated, 1908 dated Imperial German. I love this one. This one's my favourite. Interesting thing is, it looks like it's made out of 2 pieces of paper. You can see down the middle. You can see like a little bit there. Actually, no, wait, that's just being stupid. You can see it's so much drawn, but I forget what I have in my collection because I don't see my collection all the time. So sometimes I forget, sometimes I don't. So anyway, just a brief overview of my note making stuff. Sorry this has turned into such a mega long video. But anyway, as always,